Real change does not begin with technology. It begins with trust. Across Tanzania, thousands of people live with limited access to reliable energy, affecting how they farm, how they receive health care, and how they earn a living. Yet, behind every solution that works, there is a partnership that believed early and acted boldly. This is a story of impact, made possible by the Mott Foundation and delivered through the work of ELICO Foundation. Founded as energy and livelihoods for communities, ELICO Foundation was established with a clear purpose to accelerate access to modern energy solutions as a pathway to socio-economic development for rural Africa. Turning that vision into reality required more than just an idea. It required belief. The support of the Mott Foundation came at a defining moment, enabling ELICO to build its institutional foundation, test its models on the ground, and deliver real impact.
One of the values of the foundation that runs across time and across all our programs is wanting to support people in community that are addressing problems that their communities face. And that leads us to want to support, when we can, organizations that are locally led, locally founded, and responding to local needs. And I think that's where the conversation began with SISTI, because Sandra was interested in finding organizations in Tanzania led by Tanzanians responding to this problem of delivering off-grid solar to last mile communities. And we were just fortunate at the time to get to know SISTI, and I think he was ready to take on a big challenge like that. And Sandra and he sort of co-developed the idea together and then brought it to the foundation, the leadership of the...
That early support was instrumental in translating ambition into action and in setting ELICO on a path to become a trusted partner for communities, donors, and development actors across Tanzania.
The idea came through the necessity and the need, because we would look around and see, that there was a gap on organizations doing very much for impact projects, working with last mile rural communities. And then from there, we established the ELICO with other 4 people. And then we got our first grant from Mott Foundation, which was, I would say, the foundation for bringing up ELICO and allowing it to first, establish the office, but also do our first projects in Iringa and Dodoma.
In Lupembe-Losenga village, the absence of electricity once limited healthcare delivery. In this village, more than 80 kilometers from Iringa town, the absence of electricity didn't just limit healthcare, it threatened it. Without reliable electricity, patients could not always receive safe and timely treatment.
Kwa mfano, kama mnaofahamu, zahanati inapokea wagonjwa wa aina mbalimbali. Na mmoja kati ya wagonjwa ni wagonjwa wa dharura ambao labda wamepata ajali na kadhalika. Katika wale wagonjwa kuna process zile za kushona. Sasa usipokuwa na mwanga wa uhakika, kuna hatari ya kutokuitekeleza hiyo kazi vizuri. Mazingira kama hayo, kama umeme usingekuwepo uhakika, ukipata mgonjwa wa dharura usiku ambaye ana majeraha ya kuhitaji kufanyiwa usafishaji wa kidonda na kushonwa, kazi inakuwa ngumu.
With support from the Mott Foundation, the ELICO Foundation installed power at the health facility in 2020. Today, although the facility is connected to the national grid, solar energy remains the most reliable source.
Wagonjwa wamenufaika pakubwa na huduma hii kwa sababu imewapa faraja kwamba wanapofika zahanati hawakuti kituo kikiwa gizani. Huduma zitakuwepo masaa 24 kulinganisha na kipindi cha nyuma ambapo mtu alikuwa anafikiria mara mbili. Sasa penyewe giza, watanisaidiaje?
Solar power has helped increase the number of women delivering at the facility by 66%, from 2 up to 4 per month before the solar installation in 2020 to 8 up to 12 per month. Additionally, solar energy has enabled the proper storage of vaccines and the vaccination of more than 140 children per month, up from fewer than 120. For decades, farmers in Lupembe-Lwasenga village in Iringa region had relied on the traditional farming system for their livelihoods. Apart from using handhoes, animal plows, they would wait for the rain to irrigate their crops. For small plots like gardens, they would use buckets or fuel-powered water pumps for irrigation with outdated oil pumps machines. Cost of production soared, leaving the farmers trapped in a cycle of diminishing returns.
Maana kipindi kile kwa dei tulikuwa tunanunua mafuta ya shilingi 50,000 kwa lita 20 ambazo zilikuwa zinatumika kwa siku. Sasa mpaka mazao yakomae gharama ilikuwa ndefu sana.
However, as the demands of a growing population and the uncertainties of rain, the need for innovation become apparent. As a part of improving agriculture, ELICO Foundation provided Pino's group in Lupembe-Lwasenga with a solar-powered water pump to enhance productivity and food security. The initiative helped Pino's group to triple the production by expanding the area from 3 acres to 10 acres, triple the income due to lower running costs, and the money used to solve members' problems, including building houses, paying school fees, and buying land.
Toka hapo tunapotumia sasa sola, kuna manufaa ambayo tumeyapata. Kipindi hicho kila mmoja mwana kikundi tulikuwa tunakaa kwenye nyumba za nyasi, lakini sasa hivi kila mmoja ana nyumba ya bati na karedio pembeni. Kwa kuwa sasa kilimo kile cha utumiaji wa mafuta kimepungua.
The success seen in Lupembe-Lwasenga is not an isolated case. Beyond Pino's group, a similar impact is unfolding in Iringa District Council, where solar-powered irrigation is now transforming lives. Through the Ukanda wa Kijani group, farmers are now enjoying increased productivity and incomes after receiving a solar-powered water pump from ELICO Foundation, funded by the Mott Foundation. The impact is tangible, as one of the group's members, Asia Nyamolelo, is now in the final stages of building her 4-room house, a milestone made possible by gains from solar-powered farming.
Nimekarabati na kibanda changu, nimekarabati kupitia hii kazi ya huku bustanini.
In Liganga village, Dodoma region, the impact of energy extended beyond households. A solar mini-grid, revamped by funding from the Mott Foundation, now powers an entire village, unlocking economic activity and entrepreneurship. As a result, local entrepreneurs are now using reliable solar energy to grow their businesses and incomes. Through ELICO's Sandra Smithy Revolving Fund, local entrepreneurs in the village have been enabled to access income-generating appliances for their livelihood activities. Salome Sumila runs a home stationery shop powered by solar electricity, enabling her to offer printing and other services to the community, while Robert Chilongani, a tailor, using an electric sewing machine that has increased his productivity and customer base.
Hapo unaendelea na kazi. Kama kuna mteja labda amekuja, kuna kazi ya kumtaipia mtu au unamsafishia picha, unamfanya kazi nyingi tu ambazo zinahusiana na tumika hizi machine. Kwa kama umeme wa TANESCO ukikata, shughuli zinaishia pale.
Lakini kwa uhalisia ni kwamba umeme umetusaidia sana. Na niseme kwenye maisha yangu na huduma ambazo nimekuwa nikifanya, sikutegemeaga kama siku moja tungekuwa na umeme mzuri kama huu.
Access to solar energy has turned small businesses into stable sources of livelihood, strengthening the village's local economy. According to the village executive officer Flavian Daudi, solar energy has transformed the village outlook and improved access to essential services that residents previously had to seek in a neighboring village about an hour away by motorcycle.
Kuna faida nyingi ambazo tumezipata kutoka kwenye umeme jua. Kwanza kupata mwanga, lakini pia wafanya biashara wanauza soda, wanauza wananyoa vitu vingi wanafanyia kupitia umeme huu, umeme jua.
In Doma and Dumila, Morogoro region, opportunity existed, but darkness limited it. Women entrepreneurs selling tomatoes, onion and vegetables faced security risks at night and were forced to close by 10 p.m. even when customers were available. Solar-powered street lights changed that.
Changamoto ya hapa, tulipokuwa hatuna taa, tulikuwa magari hayaingii usiku, watufanye biashara kwa usiku. Tukaomba taa, tukaletewa taa. Sasa hivi usiku tunafanya biashara masaa 24 mpaka asubuhi. Na gari zinaingia kama mnavyoona masaa 24 mpaka asubuhi gari zinaingia.
The glow of the lights has not only illuminated the streets but also ignited new opportunities, empowering these vendors to grow their livelihoods and contribute more robustly to their communities. What was once a barrier has become a beacon of hope and progress. On the shores of Lake Nyasa, life has always depended on fishing activities. But for years, drying sardines under the open sun or using firewood and charcoal meant losses, contamination, and uncertainty. Today, that story has changed. With the support from partners including the ELICO Foundation, a solar-powered drying plant is transforming how sardines are processed in a cleaner, faster, and more efficient way. The facility can dry up to 5 tons of sardines per day, improving quality and increasing incomes for local communities.
Vile vipindi vya hali ya mawingu na mvua tulikuwa tunapata sana shida jinsi ya kukausha dagaa, ila kwa sasa hivi tunaamini kwamba uwepo wa hii mtambo utatusaidia kukausha dagaa kwa kiwango kikubwa, maana kwamba huu mtambo kwa sasa unaweza kukausha dagaa zaidi ya tani 4.
Though the ELICO Foundation's funding concluded in December 2025, its impact did not. Because Mott believed ELICO early, and because ELICO delivered as promised, new partners followed. Today, ELICO Foundation implements large-scale programs in the energy sector, transport sector, fisheries and livestock sector, water and agriculture sector, education sector, livelihood and the health sector, including Kijanisha Afya program supported by the Embassy of Ireland in Tanzania, with funding exceeding 2 million euros over a period of 4 years. This growth traces back one critical decision: trust.
I've been in this sector, energy and environment management in general, for over 2 decades. And I must say that it's not often, especially here on the African continent, to find locally led, locally founded, locally headquartered organizations such as ELICO. And therefore, that one, not only understand the technical requirements of the technology, because it requires a certain level of skill set, a certain level of engineering capability, but also a deep understanding of the local context, of the needs that the leaders themselves are part of the lived experience. For funders and other supporters out there, if you're looking for a group that has, experience, has a depth of expertise under its belt, is locally led, locally founded, locally embedded within the communities that it serves, I believe that ELICO is that partner that you're looking for.
This is not just a story of solar panels, pumps, or street lights. It is a story of belief, of partnership, of what happens when trust meets delivery. The Mott Foundation powered the beginning. Communities are powering the future.